Welcome back to the Movie Draft House. I'm your host, Mark. That's your host, Jeff.
Well, thank you. I was included as being a host and not just a co-host.
Is there a difference?
We're both hosting this show together. We both can have the host title.
Isn't that what co means?
Yes, but the co-pilot is not as good as the pilot. You know what I mean?
But it's always...
And so when I'm the co-host, I'm not as good as the host.
I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. I won't say that anymore. So I didn't
5
know,
years in.
I didn't know that hurt your feelings. So
it's been really rough on me. It gave me a heart attack.
That's fucked up. Anyways, happy Thanksgiving, Jeff.
Is today Thanksgiving?
Today is Thanksgiving.
Oh shit! I need to start cooking. Oh God.
What are you making?
A turkey.
Yeah.
And vagina loaf.
What's in that?
Just Google it. No, don't. No, I don't know, because one of my new favorite pastimes is just fucking around with AI and just asking it for shit.
Yeah.
And I said, "Can you please give me a recipe for vagina loaf?" To which it said, "That's not a real thing." And I said, "My uncle said it was." He said, "Well, your uncle must be referring to something else, because vagina loaf doesn't exist." So,
how about AI telling you you're wrong?
I've had to tell it it's wrong many a time, but there are a few things you can't convince it of. Like one time I was clearly delirious, the character I was playing, and I'm like, "I'm on the run from the cops." They're like, "No, you're not. You're in a jail cell." Anyway, so the theme this year is 1 degree of separation, where we take a look at films, and each film shares one thing in common with the previous film. So, for instance, last week we watched A Quiet Place Part 2, which starred and directed by Mr. Krasinski, John Krasinski, and he is in this week's film, 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, which has been directed by Michael Bay, written by Chuck Hogan and Mitchell Stuckoff. All right.
That's a fake name.
It's Zuckoff with a Z, but still, like...
You miss an opportunity. You just miss it. It's fine.
It's fine. And then it stars a bunch of other people I've never heard of, except for the old guy who played like the chief or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, and I can't find him here on IMDb because he's not like immediately listed. The older guy, but he was in a show called Flight of the Conchords, which is a comedy show I really love. He played a rather pathetic man who was married to a woman who openly flirted with this band in front of him.
So
it's good shit.
He was a cuck.
That's what we're watching next week, by the way. We're watching the entire 2-season run of Flight of the Conchords.
So you've never seen Pablo Schreiber? I'm not even gonna say.
If I have, I don't.
If you just look at the IMDb, like he played Master Chief in the Halo, the short-lived Halo series on Paramount.
They need to stop trying to make Halo a thing as far as dramas go. Like it's just not. Nobody wants it. But no, there's nothing that this guy immediately. Like I'm even looking through. I don't know if I've seen any of this crap.
He's a character actor. He's I think he has done more television than film. But I mean, to me, anyways, I've seen him in enough stuff where I'm like, oh, that's that guy. I don't know his name. Like I got his name here, but
he's a that guy.
Yeah, he's a that guy. James Badgedale. Also another recognizable.
I just
face.
have Vag on the mind today. I'm hearing things wrong.
I mean,
I got vagina on the mind. I'm sorry. I'll have to take care of that later.
Yeah. He's another one that, has a recognizable face, but you don't know his name. David Denman. So, interesting thing about 13 Hours here is we get 2 Office stars, or The Office stars.
Yes.
David Denman and
Yeah,
John
David
Krasinski.
Denman I do know from The Office.
Right.
Because both John Krasinski and David Denman's characters dated Pam.
You're right. And then you have this guy Dominic Famusa, another recognizable face. Don't know his name. All that to say is that John Krasinski is really the only name here.
He is the anchor. He's the only reason anyone, unless you're a Michael Bay fan,
Yeah.
he's the only reason anyone would go out to watch this movie.
Unless you do a podcast about movies.
Ooh, yeah. And the people that are in that situation, I feel very sorry for. Because I'm just going to tell you, I hated this movie.
Okay.
Okay. I really hated watching it. I really hated the dialogue. I really hated the cinematography. I really hated that this thing is just action and nothing else. I hated how formulaic the characters were. I hated how all of the characters like had pictures of their kids and shit, and they spend so much time being like, "Hi, kids and children, my children," and they keep doing that. And you know that one of them's gonna die, and the only reason you feel bad is because they're supposed to have kids. And they did it so on the nose that even at the end of the movie, when the one guy dies, the picture of his kid floats in front of the camera after an explosion. It is so on the nose. So I hate this movie. And I had to get through it in 2 sittings because it's 2.5 hours long. And for John, I'm going to just lay out my problems.
Okay.
John Krasinski is not like in this movie enough. Like he is the heart and soul of the movie. He's the best actor. He's the one that can, there's something about John Krasinski where you just automatically like the guy. He's just got that kind of face. It's like a Paul Rudd thing where you look at his incredible hair and you're like, oh shit, I like this guy. And so he should have been the focus of the whole movie, but they have this squad of like 6 or 7 guys or whatever, and they bounce between them all. And a lot of times there's like the guy who actually leads this squad is kind of the main character for a good bit of it.
That's
but
James Badgedale. James Badgedale.
Yeah, Badge.
Yeah.
And like they bounce around for all these characters, and none of them have any meaningful character development. Basically, it's I have children, and that's it. That's the development. The rest of the dialogue is filled up with nothing but macho bullshit one-liners that they just kind of poke and play at each other and talk shit, which honestly is probably what happens in the military. You know, you joke around and shit, but none of it's written particularly well. All the jokes do not land. Okay, so that's your downtime. Is jokes that don't land and pictures of their kids. And then the rest of the movie is shit just exploding without any story that's like, what's the story here? They're like hunkered down in this building and they need to wait it out and survive. But they go through telling you all the tactics. This guy's got to wait in Zombieland, which is one of the buildings, and you're going to wait over there. And they tell you all these tactics. None of it matters because it just turns into just explosions for like 15 minutes, and then you cut back, and then it's guys talking shit and looking at pictures of their kids, and then more shit explodes. So I hate this. I hate it.
So, thank you, Jeff. That was a pretty concise rundown of your dislikes.
How did you feel about 13 hours? Because it felt like 13 fucking hours.
So yes, that is probably my biggest gripe with this movie is that it's entirely too fucking long. Man. And so it's, I don't think action, like nonstop action's a bad thing. It's a bad thing when it just goes and goes and goes. There's a really good action, a chase sequence in this movie through the streets of Benghazi, and I thought that was really cool. It was really well done. You get shots from inside the car. They're of like a group of four guys trying to get from one building, maybe like to like a mile down the road to another building, and it's a legitimate really good chase scene. But it's sandwiched in between these extraordinarily long gun battles and just shit, like you said, shit exploding. And
it reminds me of like the later era Transformers movies,
yeah,
where you can't. There's like no story. It's like we got to get the Omnicrom to the Oberdon, and okay, let's just blow shit up for 2.5 hours. It's that, but without kick-ass robots.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So
and balls to the wall action. I'm trying to think of a movie that's just all action and no character, and none of them that I love are that. I mean, like, I think of the like John Wick movies are kind of like, especially like the later ones, but I don't like them as much.
But we already know John Wick. Like, so those movies, right. We are like the first two John Wick films established everything that we needed to know about John Wick. Who he
but
is.
Even those are now running way too long. Like, I didn't like 4. That shit went on forever.
Well, now you got spinoffs.
Like, by the end.
You got spinoffs now, and the ballerina or whatever fucking shit.
Yeah, they need to probably do one with Halle Berry, but I don't want that. I'm good.
So
I think I'm done. Like, to me, after 2, I mean, granted, 2 had like the best ending, but notice I want to talk about John Wick as opposed to 13 hours. But go ahead.
I'm just not a fan of John Wick, the franchise. Even though the first 2 movies are legitimately good.
The first 2 movies kick ass.
Yeah. No, I'm just like, they just get old and repetitive after a while. But
3 and 4, I don't like.
But like, here's the thing about this movie is that, like, yes, it's an ensemble movie, but it's about John Krasinski's character. But my also like 1B biggest gripe is that who gives a fuck? Now, this movie was made just a couple years after the whole bullshit of the Benghazi emails and all this shit that happened in Washington.
Speaking of emails, you've been watching the news lately? Anyway, by the time this comes out, that'll be old news. Anyway.
But like, I don't understand making a movie about this. Is because I don't feel like at the time this movie came out, anybody really cared. Now John Krasinski was becoming this A-list actor. I think this came out before A Quiet Place. But I mean, he's super capable. He's super capable action star. He's super capable actor. Like I said last week, he wears a lot of emotion on his face without saying a lot of things, and he's good. He's legitimately good in this movie too. It
just sucks that his dialogue is such bullshit.
Well, I mean,
like the conversations they have in the car just feel so unnatural, and it's again all the same macho bravado.
Well, and it's hard to keep track of who's who in this movie because everybody's got a fucking beard, and yeah. And like
none of them are as good as John's.
Right. But like at the end of the movie when the one guy died, the one soldier, the guy, I was struggling to remember which one was that.
Right. Because they all look the same, like you said, and it's like, wait, who is this?
Right.
And because there's another guy who, granted, his arm was turned to mush.
Yeah.
That was an effective moment. Apparently that really happened.
Yeah.
Because this is based on a true story, which it seems weird to me that you would take something that is as serious of this topic and give it to Michael Bay. It feels like maybe
it's adapted from a book, so
right. But still, Michael Bay is the wrong choice to direct a gritty military film. One thing is the screenplay is bad to begin with. The dialogue is just trash. But they should have given it to someone like Catherine Bigelow, who did like The Hurt Locker, something where there needs to be some heart and the characters need to be more than one-dimensional. And the other thing that I have a problem with is, it's action nonstop, but the characters aren't really doing anything cool action-wise. They're sitting on a tower shooting guns into a field, right? And it's not like kick-ass hand-to-hand combat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just boring to watch on screen, even though everything's blowing up.
It was.
I really.
It was. It felt long. It felt like it had overstayed its.
I literally yelled at the TV, just end. Like, I thought this had like, it's a bit of an exaggeration. So it had Lord of the Rings style ending, but it felt like it did. Like it ended, and then you get to see them leave, and then you get to see them at home, and then you get to see like the codas of what happened to the real people, and it just kept fucking going. And I was like, please stop this movie. Stop it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff that we didn't really need. Here, I don't think we needed a lot of like you said, everybody, shows everybody's kids, and so that's why we're meant to care about them, is because they have kids. But like, I thought the weakest part of the story for Krasinski's character was all of the BS with like the screen time with his kids and the kind of the backstory about his wife. And
I hated the scene where she's in the drive-through.
Yeah.
The kids are driving her up. Granted, this is probably pretty realistic, but I don't go to the movies to have kids drive me insane. And I was already on edge because I'm watching this movie I hate, and it just keeps going. And then that scene happens, and then the kid gives away that she's pregnant before he knows, and you feel like maybe she would have talked to him first.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just felt more manufactured bullshit to me. Oh, now he's got a kid on the way. Now I really care. It wasn't the 2 existing children he had. Now he's got a 3rd one.
Well, and it didn't make and
he
like
better not die.
And it might have happened in real life, but I would criticize it if it did. But like I thought,
if there was a guy in Benghazi risking his life, and when I found out his wife was pregnant at home, I would call him and be like, "Listen, you little shit, the fuck are you thinking?"
Well, why is she telling her 5-year-old child? Like, what kind of sense does that make?
That's a good point.
What, like, oh, you're gonna have a conversation with 5? Hey, little Susie, I'm pregnant. Like, what?
Yeah, and don't you like wait to tell people? You want to get past a certain point in your pregnancy where you start to feel comfortable that this is actually going to happen.
Yes,
and yet she tells the kids before she tells her husband.
It was just like, and that might be a direct like sequence that happened from the book, that it actually happened in real life. But that's a dumb choice. Like, lady, go talk to a therapist, right? Like, you don't need to talk to your kid about your pregnancy issues. But there's certain things here I did like. I did like some of the action. I mentioned the chase sequence in the middle of the night where the guys are going from one building to the next, and they're having this shootout, and the car is getting ragdolled, and then it rolls into the final compound, like just completely destroyed, and all those dudes survived. I thought that was, and it was an effective scene. It was probably about a good 10-minute chase sequence. And I was like, man, that was really good. I really enjoyed that. And then we go back to like just gun battle, shit blowing up, and then people running around, and I didn't really understand what was happening per se. Like, why were these people attacking this compound?
And why is every character, with the exception of John Krasinski, a default asshole? Like, everyone. Like, they have the old guy who's the captain or the chief or whatever. He's just a prick throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
And then like everybody's kind of got an attitude except for John Krasinski. And then like they pick up this lady who's going to be part of their spy to give them reason to be there. And she's just pissed off all the time. Right? Don't fucking touch me. And like, why is everyone unlikable?
It probably has something to do with being in Benghazi, maybe. I don't know. But the old guy that's a dick throughout the entire movie, his name is David Costabile. Another recognizable face if you saw him, but you don't know his name. there's not
Again, watch Flight of the Conchords. He's great in that.
there's not much more to say to this other than like Krasinski is the selling point here. And if you're a Michael Bay fan, I guess this is something. He hasn't really done much military film stuff in his filmography. So I guess at the time it was maybe out of his wheelhouse. It was very Michael Bay-ish. It looked like every other
It was extreme Michael Bay.
Right.
Had you plopped this crap in front of me and I watched it, I would have been like, dude, that's Michael Bay written all over it.
Yeah.
One of the dead giveaways for him is the explosion, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of movies have explosions, but there's always a firework
Yeah.
that shoots out of his explosions.
Yeah.
And it's a dead giveaway that it's Michael Bay.
Yeah, you know, like a lot of other directors, he has a style, and sometimes that style doesn't hit, and I think that's a place here. Well, you know, what's interesting is that he was he's a producer on, and was a producer on A Quiet Place Part 2. So I imagine him and Krasinski probably have a pretty good relationship, and these are all Paramount films. So, you know, Michael Bay is an in-house Paramount director. I just like, sometimes you can be in the mood for a Michael Bay film.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that mood to strike.
They're few and far between, but. Yeah, you know, like we watched, you know, the original Transformers with Shia LaBeouf. Good film, right? Good film, but that's because it's held together by Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf's the main character, and he's in the movie throughout.
And he's a character.
Yes.
Like, he is, whether you like the character or not, but he is a character.
Yeah.
He's a teenage boy driven by his hormones, right? And that is more character development than anyone else gets in 13 hours.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think that's why, you know, so like films like that, The Rock, you know, another good film. No, that's you know, a 90s Michael Bay film, but it's held together by the performances of the actors of Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery. And
welcome to The Rock. Suck it, Trebek.
So I, you know, like, there are good Michael Bay films out there. He's not everybody's cup of tea. He's not my cup of tea half the time. But like, Armageddon's one of my favorite movies. I love Armageddon. I'll watch Armageddon anytime it's on the TV.
You like it, but I don't. I'm not a fan of this guy. Like,
no,
again, no, Armageddon is way better than this. Like, it has way more characters. It has better actors. I think this movie could have been more acceptable had the rest of the cast been filled out. Like, Armageddon is an ensemble.
Yeah.
There are so many talented, recognizable actors in that. And this is not that. Yeah. This is just John Krasinski.
Well, I mean, and if you look at Michael Bay's filmography, most of his good, quote unquote, films are the films that have really good actors at the helm, right? You know, they're just like, you can go like, he directed the film The Island back in the mid 2000s with
that's not a bad one.
Scarlett Johansson and
have you ever seen that? The product placement in that movie is hilarious.
Yeah, we've talked about it before.
They straight up just Bud Light, and they zoom in on the can, and he practically pops it, goes, low on calories, high on flavor. Like, he also directed a Playboy video. I'll have to watch that. That might be my new favorite of his.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy.
Video centerfold
for sure. But Jeff, do you recommend this one?
Oh yeah, great stuff. Really good. No, this thing sucks ass. This is definitely going to be on my bottom 5 this year, if not the worst movie we've watched this season.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm going to have a hard time finding something I dislike more than this.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, we've watched a lot of good stuff, so there's, you know.
That's yeah.
In years past, this probably would have been a middling movie.
For sure. Like if it definitely isn't as bad as The Fountain and Sils Maria. You know, the legendary 9. It's not that. Ooh, I think I might watch 9 over this.
Really?
Because 9 is like 75 minutes long.
Oh, that's true. It is true. You watch two 9s.
I think this is worse than 9. So this is in rare company.
Yeah, I'm not
going
to.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm not going to
recommend.
No, I just I like John Krasinski. He's awesome. Super likable actor and all this. I think if this movie was shorter, I probably would have been behind it more. But because it's 2.5 hours long and there's very little plot development, or character development, it's this shit exploding. And I watched it like at 9:00 at night, and you
didn't go to bed till like 3 a.m.
So it was a chore to get through. Like I'm talking like I'm 11:30 at night. I'm looking at my phone, going, God damn it, so late. But I skip. This is.
I'm glad you suffered too, because I was mad at you. I was mad.
Well, I told you this is one of my Krasinski blind spots that I hadn't watched yet.
But I was like, my taste in movies.
Yeah.
I don't really like military films.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big Michael Bay fan, so you pick a Michael Bay military film, and it's just a recipe for suck. I will give this, as we go into our next week's film.
Yeah.
I will give this one positive.
Okay.
There's a scene early on in the film where all the soldiers are sitting around watching a movie. Did you catch what movie they were watching?
Oh, what movie was it? Was it had to have been a Michael Bay film, right?
No.
Was it? No?
It's a film we've covered here on the podcast. And there's a particular, and they quote one particular line from this film. It's the movie Tropic Thunder.
Oh,
and they're
yes, I do remember it. Just a
Robert
dude
Downey
playing
Jr.
a dude disguised
as another dude.
Yeah.
So Robert Downey Jr. is in this movie. And Robert Downey Jr. starred in a film from 1985.
Oh, God.
Starring Anthony Michael
What are we
Hall,
doing?
Kelly LeBrock, Ian Mitchell-Smith, Bill Paxton, and Robert Downey Jr. We are going to watch, say it with me now, Weird Science.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Did you tie this movie to Weird Science?
I fucking did. I shit my pants when he showed up on screen. I was like, this is the only opportunity I'm going to get. I don't care how tenuous of a connection it is. Robert Downey Jr. is in 13 Hours, and he is in Weird Science. And the one goal I had this season is to tie this film in somehow. And then you pooped out 13 Hours, and I was like, oh shit, there he is.
I don't know what to say.
I'm excited.
I'm glad
I love
that you've been talking about it since January when we started this thing, that
it's true.
You were going to find a way, and you crazy son of a bitch, you did it.
I did it. I did it. Oh, I'm so happy.
But it
You're
does.
Gonna be happy
too. It does.
After watching this log of shit.
I already got an
hour and a half.
I already got my films. I filmed for next week or the week after.
Because it's a great movie and there's a lot to work with.
No,
it's fucking directed by John.
Yeah,
Hughes.
you gave me John Hughes, and we're going into December. Let's fucking go.
Oh shit! Oh. Does it rhyme with gnome splalone? Huh?
No.
Gnome Splalone? Isn't that him? He directed Gnome Splalone.
He did direct a Gnome Splalone. No, I've never seen Weird Science. I've had no desire ever to watch it, but it's directed by John Hughes, so it's got to be good.
Fucking classic.
Yeah.
It's John Hughes. It's like, I mean, I know you're not going to like it. I already know. But That's just because you don't like good stuff. You like 13 hours.
I went on record saying I did not like 13 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
No, let's yeah, okay. Well, I mean,
Now, the late Bill Paxton is so good. I'm so excited.
did you know John Hughes was credited as a writer on the movie Drill Bit Taylor?
I did not know that. That is not a film that I finished. I did start at one point, but I could not bring myself to finish it. But I mean, like, listen to this. He's got 8 movies. I need to do this on chronologically.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, Weird Science, Ferris Bueller, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and then She's Having a Baby, which I've never seen that. Uncle Buck, and then Curly Sue, which I saw, which wasn't that great. But
I've never seen Uncle Buck. John Candy, huh?
it's really good. Like, I hadn't seen it till recently. It's on Tubi.
Oh.
And I was like, damn, and I love John Candy. And like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is one of my favorite movies. But yeah, Uncle Buck's classic John Candy. Really good.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is probably the only film credited as taking place on Thanksgiving. Or around Thanksgiving. At Thanksgiving?
Well, no, it happens right before. Yeah, he's trying to get home for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only movie I can think of that is like a Thanksgiving film.
That is true. I love Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
The Weird Science, man.
Come on.
This is some wild
hour and a half.
This is some wild shit.
You
man.
made me watch 2.5 hours of jack shit. You can watch an hour and a half of 2 kids making their dream woman on a computer and having her come into real life.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. All right, join us next week as we watch Weird Science. But you know what is it also a crazy thought of mine is when you can hit the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, so you don't miss any future content right here on our channel. And if you're listening without the YouTube, you can follow us on all our favorite social media platforms. We're at Movie Draft House. We're on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, right here on YouTube. So give us a like, follow, subscribe, and you'll be glad you did. Jeff, tell them where they can find you.
You can find my other podcast called Chronologically, wherever you're listening to this, unless you're listening on YouTube because it's not there. But in your favorite podcast app, it's called Chronologically, and we're going through the films of Stephen King from the 90s.
Seems like you've been doing Stephen King forever.
We have. We have.
Anyways, Jeff, any last words?
Nope. See y'all next week. It's going to be great.